Hello, hello, 365 Tribe. I'm excited to be here with you today. Andrea is amazing. This community is amazing. And she's asked me to come on today and share a little bit of love magic with you all. It's Valentine's Day, and this can be a day that some of us get really passionate about, really fired up about, and we really enjoy. We just want to go over the top, celebrating love in whatever way we feel so inspired. And for others, this can be a day that is maybe not so fun. Maybe you don't like it for reasons of maybe you don't like celebrating it alone, or maybe you don't like having a holiday dictate what you should and shouldn't be doing with your partner. I myself have gone through my own evolution of feels about Valentine's Day over the years. And my favorite thing and the gift I want to give to you today is the fact that you can make this day whatever you want it to be. And the tribe, this month's theme is mindset. So you get to pick your mindset about how you want to approach not just Valentine's Day, because it is just a holiday. It is just a day that hopefully can remind people to pay attention to love, intimacy, connection. But this is also something that you can do every day. You can make this your lifestyle, a lifestyle of love, of intimacy, connection, and pleasure. Hey, Andrea. So that's the invitation that I want you to explore, and I want to give you 3 tips to do. This isn't just sizzle for Valentine's Day. This isn't just feeling the love for 24 hours. I would love for you to take these tips to have that lifestyle, the lifetime of love and intimacy, connection, and sustainable sizzle. That's my magic. I want the whole world on fire with sexy, juicy love. So without further ado, we'll jump right in. And I apologize in advance if my doggos start barking. I have 5 and they like attention too. So the first tip is talk to each other as more than just your roles. And if you are doing this just for you, which everyone should do anyway, also talk to yourself and give yourself space to think and dream and create outside of just your roles. Because we have this really common tendency that the more time we spend with someone, the more familiar they become, the less we become curious about who they are as individuals, and they just kind of slip into these roles, either as mother, father, husband, wife, boss, friend. Like, everybody has roles, and our brain likes to organize things that way, but it can be really easy to just end up only having those interactions and those conversations. And this leads to that whole roommate romance syndrome, where you have a partner, but you just feel like the only thing you talk about is bills, or you only talk about what's going on with the kids or what's going on with work. But the one thing I want you to do with this tip is to really talk to your partner about who they are as a person. Ask them what delighted them or surprised them in that day. Share an article with them and be like, hey, what fascinated you about this? Did anything stand out? What's a hobby you've been thinking about doing that you haven't done? Like, when was the last time you spoke to your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife as a man or as a woman, and not as the role they fit with you or around you? Andrea, I'm seeing your notes. Connection magic, kids. Yeah, all of that fun stuff. So feel free to post comments in there, you guys, if you want to. Even after the video is done, I'll come back and respond to those if it's after live time. So that's tip 1. Find the man, find the woman in your partner and speak to that, reach to that, because that's that sizzle that connected you in the very beginning. That's the thing that captivated you about your partner. It wasn't who they were as a husband. You didn't know that yet. It's who were they as a person. So why wouldn't you continue cultivating that and feeding that? So develop the mindset of continued exploration as your partner, as an individual, which leads us into tip 2. Curiosity. Cultivate an endless hunger for curiosity. make yourself interesting and see your partner as interesting as well. And I had a client recently who's been with his partner for 14 years, and they have a business together. They have 4 kids together. All of their life is intermeshed, and they just talk about business. They talk about kids, the same stuff we were talking about in tip 1. And it wasn't just that those were the only conversations and connection containers they created together, but it was also that he genuinely felt like he had nothing of interest as an individual anymore. He hadn't been taking time out to cultivate who he was as a man outside of his roles. So there were no hobbies. There were no things that were like fantasizing him and delighting him that he had to contribute. It's like, I know I personally, working from home, sometimes I'm feeling blah, and my sweet man will come home and he'll be like, tell me about your day. And I'm like, I have nothing to tell you about. It's been a boring day. I feel like a boring woman. There's just, conversation is not going to happen. I have nothing to say. And that doesn't feel fun. Like, sometimes it's nice to be a hermit. I like to go underground and just do nothing. But eventually that leads into like just feeling gross and blah, and color goes to gray, and you're not feeling inspired, and you're not feeling lit up. You yourself just feel kind of frumpy. And again, we have those moments, but to stay there, it starts to be a huge drain on your body, on your energy, on your relationship. So you have to keep cultivating your own evolution. Doing things that challenge you, that open you up, that take you into deeper levels of yourself. And then you can go deeper places with the people around you, and you can go on deep journeys together. And that's that really deep, I love that word, deep, juicy connection that all of us are craving, is a partner who goes places with us. So many couples come to me where one partner is saying, I feel like I've outgrown my partner. They're not challenging, they're not evolving, and I feel like they're holding me back, or I feel guilty for trying to move forward when my partner doesn't want to. And they don't have to do crazy stuff like coaching or triathlons or other things to challenge themselves. Sometimes all it takes is a curious question, is for you to sit and ask your partner, what is one thing you've been wanting to do or you've been thinking about lately that you haven't acted on? Could we do that this weekend? What? That can open up a door for lots of fun stuff. So tip 2 is curiosity. And to make that a little sexier, this is where Andrea is like, put your ear pods in. When we have this stuff happening in our normal interaction, in our daily conversations, in the way we relate to our partner, this transitions into the bedroom, and curiosity stops there as well. You find something that your partner liked once, and you tend to do it over and over and over again. If they liked being kissed on the neck, or they liked being kissed in a specific way, or they like a specific position, then that tends to be your go-to. And the intention behind it is good. You want to bring your partner pleasure, but the rut that can create when you think you've figured your partner out, or when you think they're going to like the same thing every time. This can be super frustrating if you aren't used to having really open communication about that. And some men and women don't feel comfortable telling their partner, hey, could we try something different? Or hey, could you use a little less pressure or more pressure or anything, because we don't want our partners to take our request as criticism. We don't want to trigger anyone's insecurities, and we have our own insecurities that maybe keep us quiet and like psychically projecting stuff that we want our partners to understand that's just not making it past our lips. So when you're taking this curiosity in, be curious about your partner sensually, sexually, romantically, intellectually. Take time to act like you don't know who your partner is and explore that. So maybe it's Valentine's Day. Most people are getting babysitters. Maybe you have time to spend time with your partner or with yourself, because this is a solo journey too, to stop and explore yourself sensually. What would it be like if you just met your partner as a total stranger and you kissed them like it was the first time again? And you went to see, how do they like it? If you're used to just going in a specific way, what if you do it totally different? What if you start running your fingers through their hair instead of just going and wrapping your arms around them? What if you really paid attention to all the different parts of the body that you forget to touch anymore? Most of the time we're going for like the bullseye places. Self-explanatory. You're playing with the mouth, the boobs, the butt, the vagina, the penis, whatever. Like you're going in for the normal erogenous zones. But every part of the body can be orgasmic and sensuously charged. So take advantage of every square inch. What if the insides of the elbow is a hot zone that you didn't know about? And all it takes is for you to just run your fingertips there or kiss and lightly graze your teeth on that spot, and your partner is going, whoa, that's never happened before. How charged up would that make you feel to know that you just taught them something new about their body? Or my own partner, I love giving him as an example. This man, if we stop in the middle of sex and I just start massaging his foot, it blows his mind. Doing something so unseemingly erotic, but you have so many nerve endings in your hands and your feet and they dance to your entire body. So to stop and like give us both time to like hold the sizzle where we're not letting each other go over the edge, and you can just like hold eye contact and rub each other's feet for a minute and like be. That amplifies that charge and it keeps the whole body engaged. Those are the little things that make ordinary sex extraordinary and ordinary moments extraordinary. So be curious and act like you don't know who your partner is, but you have the foundation of years of trust and intimacy that can let you explore without all the weirdness of doing that with a new person. And if you're doing this with yourself, maybe it might not look quite like that. It could be drawing a bubble bath and massaging your whole body with oils and touching yourself in places and in ways that you probably don't. We tend to hygienically connect with our body, but how many of us do it mindfully and sensually? Go out to dinner and eat your food really slowly and feel all of the flavors that change when they're sitting on your tongue. Don't just scarf down your food or knock back that glass of wine, beer, whatever. Take time and spend presence with it. So that's tip 2. Be endlessly curious, like you're experiencing life, connection, kisses, food for the first time. Number 3. Swoon over each other like nobody's business. To me, swooning is expressing and recognizing something about your partner, about another person. It's recognizing and affirming something. So I love the word swoon, and I love to cultivate the art of swooning over everybody. So if like the barista at Starbucks gives me my latte, I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. You don't know what this means to me today. And they're like, what? No one says those things. Half the people don't even look up from their cell phone. And that gives them a moment of being like, whoa, I was seen. I was affirmed. I did good. I got gratitude. That feels amazing. And all of us crave those moments. And throughout days, we have an endless supply of these opportunities, of these moments where we can create sizzle and we could swoon over someone and be swooned over in return, and we miss them. We miss them because we're so busy living in our heads, living on our devices, and living really fast-paced lifestyles where we just boom, boom, boom from one thing to another. And we swoon really naturally in the beginning of a relationship. So like, you know, the first time you and your partner spent the night together and one of you brought the other a coffee, and it was like, or tea, whatever, orange juice, mimosa, vodka, whatever your poison is. And they brought this to you, and you had this sense of like being cherished and being loved and being nurtured and adored. Like you felt it when they set that cup down, and you knew it was just for you and it was because they cared. And the second time they did it, you felt it too, and you expressed it, and you're like, oh, babe, thank you so much. And you probably kissed and maybe gave a butt squeeze, whatever. And then the next time, oh, thanks. And progressively that, thank you, turned into a thanks, turned into a thanks, turned into a And eventually, it's just an implied sense of gratitude that if your partner brings you that cup of coffee every morning, they know you're thankful for it and they know you're going to enjoy it. So you stop going out of your way to actually give the recognition and the gratitude and the praise and the swoon. But we never stop aching for these things. So it's not just the gratitude that we stop giving. It's even giving ourselves permission to feel the experiences. Like, I personally have caught myself watching my partner just, I don't know, randomly I look up from whatever I'm doing and I see him do something and I see the way his muscles flex and like maybe his shirt comes up and I see some of that low back, sexy curve action and I'm like, oh, woo! I just looked at him like he was a man and I felt like a woman and that was hot. And now I'm going back to work. And he never knew that I had that moment of whoa. So he's going about his day feeling like just a normal man. And I never took the time to let him know that for a second, he turned into a god. And I never embraced and expanded that feeling either. So I never chased it and I never let it flow through my body, whether I chose to do anything. Like, we have so many moments in the day to do that. So have you found yourself, or do you find yourself in moments when your partner does something that kind of goes, and then you brush it aside and go about your business? I'd love to encourage you to stop, even if it's just for you to experience it by yourself. Maybe that's your first step. Maybe you don't want to say anything to them because you don't want to be obligated to give a specific reaction. But maybe for you, it's just like, wow, okay, that was pretty hot. It was cool. I saw him conversing with his friend and he looked so confident. I miss seeing him that way. Maybe he's kind of frumpy at home now. Maybe he doesn't feel like he has to try so hard. And you see him trying with another person and it's hot. Well, enjoy that. Feel that. Let it swim through your body. And then maybe later you'll be like, hey, that was really hot. And you can have fun with that or not. But still, learn to swoon over your partner. First feel it and then communicate it. And you'd be surprised that people want positive interaction and they want that positive feedback and they'll do things to continue getting it when they know it's there. But if they're investing in you and you're not investing back or you're not receiving it, and that's a big one, women have a hard time receiving things from their partner, then we tend to shut that door and eventually our partners stop trying. So we can actually put our partners out of the realm of seduction and woo and swoon and bliss because we've closed the doors, or sometimes they've closed the doors. So use these 3 tips as ways to open those doors back up in a really non-threatening way. It's not overcomplicated. It doesn't require you to have kooky tricks, techniques, and tantra manuals. This is just you feeding on the foundations that brought you together in the first place. So just a little quick review. Tip 1, talk to each other as a man and a woman, or man and a man, woman and woman, whatever you guys have going on. 2, one of my dogs is groaning now. Be endlessly curious about your partner. And 3, swoon the fuck over them and over yourselves. If you just did something really great, stop and give yourself a moment of recognition for that. If you think you look good when you pass the mirror, stop for a minute and just feel what it feels like to feel good about your body. Spend time swooning over yourself, over your partner, over everyone, and you'll be surprised at how the universe and all the people around you start swooning back. And that's when magic really happens. I hope you've enjoyed these tips. I would love to have any comments, thoughts, feedbacks, any questions. And feel free to, reach out, private message me. I love connecting. I really love what Andrea is doing here in this group, and I can't wait to get to know you guys better. So I'm here for you to make the world a sexier, more romantic place. Have fun. Happy Valentine's Day. Mwah.